everybody. Good morning. How you doing? Glad you are with us here on a Tuesday in where the state of Alabama has become a baseball state. I didn't think I'd ever say that or see it for that matter. Wow, what a night of baseball.
Well, it was great. I'm Barry McKnight. I am still in Gainesville, Florida, and still basking in the afterglow. John Longshore is in his home studio. This is our Tuesday show. And the super regionals are set in college baseball, and the Troy Trojans are going. They win it 10-2 last night over Florida. Troy wins the Gainesville regional after losing the opening game. The whatever they are, I don't know how they're the ESPN odds were Troy at 2%. Well, they beat Ryder, they beat Miami, they beat Florida twice, and now are hosting a super regional against Little Rock starting on Friday for the first time in school history. And yeah, Bill, I'm telling you, it's one of the most fantastic things I've ever been a part of.
I believe that might be some news because I'm not sure people are aware of who Troy will be playing on Friday.
It's funny to say, but there are three schools. If you ever look it up, there are three schools in Division I athletics with the nickname, the mascot of the Trojans.
Okay.
And all three of them are playing in the super regionals. The Troy Trojans are playing the Little Rock Trojans, the University of Arkansas at Little Rock Trojans, and also the Southern Cal Trojans are taking on North Carolina in a regional as well. But that's not what John's lead is all about. Yesterday, Alabama was a winner in the baseball super regionals. The Crimson Tide will take on St. John's, who upset Florida State in the Tallahassee regional.
A team they beat in basketball earlier this year.
That's true.
Or was it late last year? But in this academic athletic calendar.
Yes, that's exactly right. And the Auburn Tigers, after losing the first game of their home regional against Milwaukee, they end up winning. They beat they beat Milwaukee, and Auburn will host a regional as well against Ole Miss. There are a goodly number of SEC teams that are in. The Troy Trojans are in, and again, I can't begin to express how excited me and the Trojan Nation are about that. Auburn goes to the super regionals. Alabama goes to the super regionals. Ole Miss, Georgia, Mississippi State, Texas is in. Oklahoma.
How many teams are making the super regional? Huh?
I'm looking down. There's Southern Cal.
Yeah.
There's Oregon. Good gosh. Thank gosh for the new additions to the Big Ten. Otherwise, they would have been shut out this year.
Here crowing. Yeah, Bear was able to watch some of the Troy game. Very exciting. I certainly saw a lot of Troy fans in the stands as they panned the crowd last night as well, which was very exciting. But I like to read body language and just get a feel of how things are going by the way people react and their body language. And man, Florida just looked beat early. I mean, their facial expression was like, man, this is more we bargained for tonight.
John, you say that, and it was obvious. It was they were a really talented team, obviously. They are a former national champion, but they never came close to matching Troy's energy and Troy's confidence. I didn't think that they were mentally ready to play. And I'm glad that you brought that up. I'm glad that you saw that because we were expecting more. I mean, Troy won the game 10-2. They scored 16 runs in the game last night. And I don't know, not taking anything away from the Troy win, because I think Troy had a big part in the fact that Florida was they just looked beaten, and the energy just wasn't there. So there was that. And, after the game, being down there, being on the bus with all the guys and, the cheer with Skylar Meade when he got on the bus and all of that for the job that he's done. Now Troy is hosting a super regional, which has never been done before at Troy. We've never gone this far before at Troy. Riddle Pace Field is going to be rocking. Bill's right. Troy has, he says, from what I heard, this is the farthest Troy has ever gotten, and to get a home series to try to go to Omaha also for the first time. The path is there for Troy. Little Rock's a good team. They get every bit of respect, but they got to play in Troy. They got to play 3 games in Troy, and that's not
and that's
easy.
The thing about it, Barry. This is unlike the regionals where you had multiple teams coming to play. All of these super regionals, it's like a 3-game series, if you will.
Yeah, and it is at home parks, which, if we have a 24-team football playoff, there's going to be home games in that as well. I love the home aspect of it, particularly when it's my home school, but there is a strong chance that we could revisit this even more. When John and I first got together, when we were first thrown together to do a radio show, and we're looking at each other like, oh, what is this guy all about? I'll never forget my friend Bill Cameron. And you know Bill, everybody knows
sure. Yeah,
Bill.
certainly.
You've worked with Bill before. I said, hey, what's this John Longshore? What's he all about? And he, I've told the story before. He said, I mean, he's a Bammer, but he's great. He's a good guy. And I thought, all right, I'll go give him a chance.
There are a few out there, I hear.
And within a month of me doing the show, again, March 19th, 1997 was my first show with John. Coming up that June, 2 months after the show started, they sent me to Omaha because both Auburn and Alabama were playing in the 1997 Men's College World Series. And I was there for 11 days. And John's like, holy smokes, when is that guy going to come back? Well, that was when they were both playing. There is a chance, I'm not putting the cart before the horse, that Auburn and Alabama could be in the College World Series again with Troy. And I'm here to tell you, I am here for that.
Barry, I was telling that story to my wife last night as we were out on the back veranda just talking about the day, and had some baseball and Lady Tide softball on. We'll get to that in a moment. Wow, tough night for the ladies. But yeah, I said, when Barry and I were first put together, we weren't on the air 2 weeks, and they sent Barry to Omaha for like what felt like a month. Because both Auburn and Alabama were in the College World Series, and he loved it. He thought it was great. I'm not sure he wanted to come back so early, but I don't know if I could have done that. But that was 30 years ago? Whew.
Oh, it'll be 30 years ago this coming March.
Man.
Can you believe that, guys? Me with him?
Yeah.
30 years? Anybody?
Unbelievable.
So great day for baseball, great day for college baseball, which is my favorite sport. And John mentioned this, and it is probably best summarized by our buddy Bob from Pike Road. Alabama softball was in the driver's seat in the Women's College World Series. They're in Oklahoma City.
Yep.
Bama had to play. All they had to do was beat Texas Tech once yesterday. Texas Tech had to beat Alabama twice. Bob from Pike Road says, Bama softball played great, just ran into a buzzsaw. The Texas Tech pitcher was just phenomenal, one of the best of all time, and that's true. Heck of a season for Bama, RTR. Yeah, softball, even more than baseball, is all about the pitching.
Yeah, and I thought it was interesting, Barry, that Texas Tech elected to rotate pitchers, where Alabama stuck with their one dominant pitcher all night, both games. Texas Tech was flipping back and forth. I thought that was a very interesting way to coach the game.
Well, it's a risk, because if it doesn't work, you are, they're gonna skewer you for it.
Yeah.
But it did work. Her name is Najari Kennedy, and believe it or not, we've talked about her before briefly but we have talked about her before because I mean she was a freshman of the year in the NCAA her freshman year. She was at Stanford. She was at Stanford her sophomore year. She is the truth, and that's all it was. Is Alabama couldn't touch Najari Kennedy. She got to Texas Tech with a $1.1 million NIL deal for softball. And John and I touched on it briefly way back 2 years ago when it happened. And we're like, holy smokes, $1 million NIL deal for a softball player? I still don't know that it's worth it. But man, if anybody in college softball is worth $1 million a year, it's either that girl for Nebraska that Alabama saw the other day, or it's this cat. Because I mean, she is tough.
Well, when you got a couple of billionaires, what's $1 million? And that program has been down for so long, and I'm sure they're getting a lot of fulfillment out of the fact that now they're winning. They're paying to win it, but that's the way you play the game these days, and they've got the money to do it. And there again, that's what I've been fearful of with a lot of schools around. Hey, Auburn's got a couple of billionaires. Maybe they should tap into them. But, you know, how can you keep up? How can you afford to continue to win if other teams are outspending you? And I think that's very, very difficult. But, that was tough for the Tide last night. Needed one win. They lose both games and are out.
Well, the thing is,
the College World Series.
The thing is the SEC was in prime shape. Tennessee, all they had to do, they were in the same boat with Texas, who of course is in the SEC too. Tennessee, all they had to do was win one of two against Texas, and they lost both of them. So it's an all-Texas Women's College World Series final, Texas versus Texas Tech. When if you really wanted the viewership, if you really wanted the emotion, if you really wanted the hatred, a Women's College World Series between Tennessee and Alabama,
that would have been good, Barry. But now you've got Texas going up against little old Texas Tech, who's spending all this money and about to give them a run for a national championship. I can't imagine Texas likes that too much. The Texas Tech football coach has already called out the Longhorns saying, hey, we'll play you. Let's go. What are you waiting on? I mean, almost taunting them to come play. And that would be I think that's going to be an interesting series between those two because Texas doesn't like to get pushed around. They don't like other people,
telling them what to do.
Yeah. They're the big boy in their mind, and it's not playing out that way with what Texas Tech is doing. But I'm sure that had to be tough for the Lady Tide. They've had a great year. Sure, Patrick Murphy, it was tough on him as well, thinking this might be his year to get another national championship. Had a team that, unfortunately, in the last game couldn't produce any runs, but they were able to, hit the ball pretty effectively throughout the regular season, but ran into a buzzsaw, as Bob from Prattville said. Way offsides. Jeff wants to know, though, if Bob is called for a U-Haul for Patrick Murphy.
Didn't win a national championship. Therefore, the season was a colossal waste of time.
Yeah, sure.
Auburn yesterday had to battle back out of the losers bracket throughout the entire regional. They were able to get out of it, and they win yesterday over Milwaukee. They win comfortably, and they had a ton of people. It was originally, I don't know what the deal was because I was working my own game, but they had to postpone that game for a little while until
we had some weather here yesterday. We had some really it was raining pretty hard yesterday here in central Alabama. The wind was blowing, so I'm sure that had something to do with it.
Here's the corollary to that. The fans are out there, and it was a record crowd for a Monday
Well, somebody's
night.
trying to tell me that, Barry, on the River Region Straw chat line. I saw the game. I didn't see that. Are they counting by twos? I mean, what's going on over there?
Well, here's the counting. Auburn made out like a bandit last night because the fans got there on time. Then, weather delay. The fans have to go get underneath the concourse, underneath the upper deck and get under cover and everything. John from Wetumpka says, John, at Auburn last night, they sold 4,400 beers and 1,400 hot dogs. Now, I don't doubt John from Wetumpka, but really?
Does he written documentation? I mean, all of these outlandish statements that he's producing on the chat line and the email inbox, they didn't have 4,000 beers at the stadium. I mean, come on.
3,000
bring their own beer?
Hot dogs?
3,400 hot dogs? Well, that's like a gourmet meal over at Auburn. So they might have sold 3,400 hot dogs. But, I mean, come on, John, really. I mean,
does anybody know? Does anybody thought how many freaking hot dogs is 3,400 hot dogs?
Yeah, that's I'm not sure the concession stand is capable of producing that many hot dogs in that period of time.
I'm not now at Legion Field for Alabama football back in the day, they could do it because they went straight from the cooler out there for service. And and if Lee Corso wanted one plain without the sauerkraut and without the relish, all that lady had to do was just go.
I mean, think about it, Barry. You got to put all those weenies on those little rollers, that heat them up, the little roller machine that you stick the weenies
Surely they don't do that.
And they cook them, and then you got to stuff them into the bun.
This is not 7-Eleven.
Then you got to put them into the foil wrapper. 3,400. I'm not buying that. Come on. I don't know where you get your info, John, but you better double check that.
Yeah, I don't know.
That seems kind of bogus.
That's a lot. Dang. Yeah, Bill
it was
from
a good
Baltimore
night,
says, just imagine the smoothies that can be sold.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
I think the smoothie machine broke down. They were selling so many of them.
And one more. Bob from Pike Road replies to Jeff. Bob says, big difference. Softball program is elite. Football program under DeBoer has gone from elite to good, just above average. Gets blown out 2 times a year. DeBoer is fortunate he even has season 3 at Bama.
Yeah. Well, it might be. It's a big one for him, Bob. Season 3, we'll see how it all plays out.
Billy.
For DeBoer. But as I said, as we started the show, it is a baseball state here in Alabama. The Crimson Tide, the Tigers, the Trojans, all hosting super regionals. Who'd have thunk it? If we go from football and basketball to a baseball state, it seems like it.
It's an everything state. We're underway on a Tuesday show. I'm still in Gainesville. We're leaving right after the show. He's John Longshore. He is in his home studio. We're ready to go. We've got Brian Matthews, auburnsports.com, due today. Also Travis Reier on YouTube. This is our live show for Tuesday. It's Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
Known by avid golfers as one of the most beautiful and challenging stops on the Robert Trent Jones Golf Trail, Cambrian Ridge in Greenville lies just 40 miles from Montgomery. It is well worth the ride for any golfer looking for 27 holes of jaw-dropping golf. The greens have been redesigned to accommodate the higher green speeds associated with their installation of the latest generation of ultra-dwarf Bermuda grass. Cambrian Ridge offers a fully stocked pro shop with all the latest equipment and apparel. Great food and beverages in the clubhouse can be enjoyed both before and after your round. Get your group together and hit the trail. Go to rtjgolf.com/Cambrian Ridge for tee times and more information. Prattville Carpet is the most trusted name in flooring in the River region. Ray Bowles and his staff have an extensive line of Mohawk, stain-resistant carpeting in all the latest styles and colors. Prattville Carpet also has hardwood, vinyl, and ceramic tile for all of your flooring needs. Professionally installed at the absolute lowest prices. Take advantage of cash and carry vinyl plank at just $239 a foot. Call them today to set up your free measurement for your home, office, lake house, hunting camp, or wherever you need flooring. 285-8117. That's 285-8117, or drop by 2201 Cobbs Ford Road in Prattville for Prattville Carpet. Okay, welcome back in, everybody. About 19 minutes past the hour here on this Tuesday. A lot to talk about, as always. Brian Matthews, auburnsports.com. Later on today, later on this hour, actually, in about 11 minutes, Travis Reier on YouTube, Talking Tide. We'll talk with Travis at the top of hour number 2. Here's the thing that I noticed. You know me, these are things that attract my attention. And this was the first comment I made as I was watching some baseball and softball throughout the night. The first thing that caught my attention, Barry, was, look at the uniforms that the Alabama softball team's wearing tonight. Game one, they came out in the gray uniform with the iconic traditional logo from the 1970s on the front of the uniform. And I thought, why is that okay? Alabama does not have a shade of gray. And this was kind of a smoke gray. They don't have a shade of gray in their color scheme, but they're wearing it tonight. And and the logo is the old A with the elephant coming through it and all that kind of stuff. I'm thinking, why is that okay?
Don't get John wrong. He ain't complaining about it. It's not like he hates it, but he's wondering, why do you get to get creative with the softball uniform, but you absolutely cannot lay a finger on the football uniform without the entire world spinning on the other side of its axis? That's the point, and I don't have an answer for that.
Can somebody on the chat line, can somebody on the email inbox tell me where I'm wrong? I thought it looked pretty good. It was different. It wasn't over the top. I'm thinking, how would that look on a football uniform? It's the first thing I thought of, actually. Looked at the wife and said that, hey, how do you think that'd look on a football uniform? And people just freak out. But no, it's okay for the softball team to come out in something like that. And the baseball team's worn camo, and they've worn a darker uniform as well. And the basketball team wears one that says Crimson Tide on it. I've gone over this before, but last night to me stuck out more than any other uniform combination I'd seen an Alabama team ever wear. I thought it looked pretty good. Are you going to, jump off the upper deck if the Crimson Tide rolls out of the tunnel and on the same field wearing some type of smoke gray uniform?
I don't know if I'd ask that, John. I don't know because I know some people who might. I'm not saying they will. I'm saying they would consider it.
Are people emailing Greg Byrne today and saying, how did you let them wear that uniform?
I wouldn't be surprised. It wouldn't. I understand the point you're making, but you're making general questions about it. And maybe they wouldn't jump off the upper deck, but they would throw somebody off the upper deck. I don't know. They're funny that way.
Oh,
and Auburn's the same way. I mean, we've mentioned before, Auburn basketball, you've seen them in all orange. You've seen them in all navy. You've seen baseball in all navy with camouflage stuff and all that stuff, and white hats and navy hats and orange hats and all of that stuff. And logically, I don't have an answer as to why that is, John. And somebody on our chat line or somebody somewhere can maybe venture a guess about human nature. Why is it okay for baseball and for softball and for basketball, but absolutely I don't even want to hear a word about anything having to do with changing the football uniform?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know.
I
thought it looked, I don't love, I've said this before. Alabama needed to have a freshening up of the logo and the font and all that about 20 years ago, because the script Bama is not great. The elephant running through the block A is not great. It's, the Atlanta Braves A with the mullet, that's all right, but it's not iconic, I guess. The numbers on the sides of the helmet are iconic, but the rest of it, the circle that they've got, and on the outside rim of the circle, it says Alabama Crimson Tide, and on the inside, you've got the script. That's, John, I didn't like the pinstripes on the basketball uniforms years back, and other people loved.
I like a pinstripe. I do just kind of got, Yankee-esque, I guess you could say. I've always liked the pinstripe. Matter of fact, I think wasn't Troy wearing pinstripe on the pants last night?
Yeah, but the Alabama pinstripes are too thick.
Too thick.
They were too thick. You got to have small pinstripes. Those look like almost like, Cool Hand Luke escaping from the prison down. I
do wonder, though, Barry, if Bob from Pike Road is aware that Kalen DeBoer was at the game last night in Oklahoma City. Did that have anything to do with the softball team not winning?
I'm glad you said.
Did he curse the team, Bob?
I only watched a little bit of the games because, again, I was working my own game. But I noticed that when Alabama played the day before in baseball, I mean, they made a big deal on the telecast when they showed Greg Byrne at Sewell Thomas Stadium. They showed DeBoer. I think Oates was there. Some of the other ones. But they had a lot of big names there at the Alabama baseball game.
Mm-hmm.
And you knew Greggy was going to go to Oklahoma City.
Oh, yeah.
And my next guess would have been DeBoer because, I mean, he's a softball dad. His daughter plays collegiate softball at Washington. I wondered if they would make it to Oklahoma City. And good for Kalen DeBoer. Good for Kalen DeBoer. Now, this is acceptable because they have just finished up their first big official recruiting visit weekend of the year on Saturday, on Sunday.
Yep.
So Bama fans are like, all right. You got this commitment from this 4-star running back from somewhere in Georgia. Okay, you got this commitment from this defensive lineman. You can go, but hurry right back. And you better be making phone calls while you're on the way. So, yeah.
Well, I just there again, and this there's a picture of DeBoer at the game last night, and it was before the first game, obviously, because the team is wearing those uniforms that I was describing earlier. If you didn't look, you didn't see, you didn't take a closer look, just give it another look at it. See what you think, because to me, I thought it looked pretty good, and I'm trying to visualize what a football uniform could look like in that color combination as well. I mean, you people just got to get over it. I mean, it's like, oh my Lord, if they come out in those uniforms, we'll all get a rash or we'll get, the Beijing flu or something. We can't do that,
The only hope.
I'm just amazed at how people are they feel like the sky's going to fall if you change the uniform.
Here's how it would look in real time. The Greg Byrne gets together with, their marketing and promotions person. They hire out for a design from some marketing firm or some, clothing design deal within the Nike realm. And they come up with a design they like, something new, John. That's what we're after. We're not looking for garish. We're not looking for, crazy looking. We're just looking for something new and fresh and more contemporary, right? They come up with that. And like, okay, guys, we're going to use this for the Chattanooga game. We're going to just throw it out there.
Yeah.
Just see if we can draw more fans and sell more merchandise. Let's do that. Let's plan for that. Let's get it ready and get everything ready. And of course, the Monday before the Chattanooga game, Bama fan is going to find out about it. They're not supposed to, but they're going to. They're going to find out about it, and they're going to raise holy Hades. We can't do that. All the blue hairs are going to have a coronary and da-da-da. And they're going to come out. They're going to threaten to cancel their season tickets, and you know how that works. Big deal. And they'll come out in the brand new, newly designed Alabama uniforms for the Chattanooga game. The fans are going to boo. They're going to go crazy. The students are going to love it and everything. And they'll beat Chattanooga 63-0. And the fans are going to say, well, okay, but we still don't like it. We better get back to you. Better not do that for the Auburn game. But they're desensitizing them a little bit. And maybe next year they go in the Tennessee game.
Yeah.
And they beat Tennessee by 35. And all of a sudden it'll be okay at that point. Whatever the transition is into it, it's going to be slow. but ultimately they're going to come around.
Yeah, I think so. There again, it's like, look, you rip that Band-Aid off, it stings for a little bit there for 5-10 seconds, and then after that, it's all great. It's all good. Now, Bill from Baltimore, as we're talking about Kalen DeBoer, Greg Byrne being at the Alabama softball game, Bill tells us that there were some Auburn coaches at the baseball game. But, Bill, you need to be more descriptive because I don't think our audience knows who Larry Vickers is.
He's the women's basketball coach at Auburn. Stephen Pearl was there. Alex Golish was there. I knew John would take it that way. Yeah. I know John Cohen was there as well.
When I first read it, I went, Larry Vickers. Yeah, women's basketball coach. I had to think about that one.
That one as of right now, I have got a $100 bill that says John cannot name the new Alabama women's basketball coach who has taken over for Christy Curry.
Didn't Auburn beat Alabama in women's basketball? Maybe that's why there is a new coach in Tuscaloosa.
When we come back.
Wasn't that right? Didn't they beat I think they did. Yeah, I think they did.
Brian Matthews, AuburnSports.com, joins us in a moment. It's Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light. Oh.
Why Hands? At Hands Heating and Air, you get this area's highest ranked service provider with 24-hour repair service, no overtime charges, and their same-day service guarantee. Plus, instead of other companies' 30-day repair warranty, Hands gives you a 3-year repair warranty. Hands Heating and Air is here for you 24/7, 365. And service is not just something they do, it's their way of operating, for you in mind. All of Hands employees are trained to adhere to this standard. They work hard to ensure that this standard is maintained, and they are constantly looking for new ways to better serve you. Call Hands Heating and Air today at 508-5382. That's 508-5382, or find them on the web at 834hands.com. It's Earring Fest.
Hey, bro, weirdest thing is happening at the game. This guy sitting next to me says, "You're our good luck charm. Every time I crack a Bud Light, we score a touchdown."
Alabama's
now his entire family wants to buy me Bud Lights.
Their location,
I think I'm some kind of a football prophet. Talk soon. The team needs me.
Conveniently located adjacent.
Anything for Bud Light, the official beer sponsor of the NFL.
Item imaginable, because they make it. They really make it. From rings, necklaces, bracelets, earrings, and much, much more. Mark Reach can also repair, clean, and rework any jewelry item that you want to bring back to life. Whether you're on a budget or have no budget at all, Mark Reach has all types of jewelry for everyone. Go by and see them today or call 270-0074.
Hey, where's the beer guy? Bud Light here? You got a Bud Light? Bud Light?
I'm here, Bud Light.
Bud Light here?
Bud Light here.
Bud Light here.
Bud Light where?
Bud Light here.
Oh, Bud Light there.
I missed that because of you.
You did not miss that play because of me.
Have to stop talking this way?
Yeah.
It's actually kind of fun.
Hey, I got you, Bud Light.
Oh, nice. Never mind.
Okay.
Anything for the clean, crisp taste of Bud Light.
What I miss?
I have no idea.
Okay, welcome back in, everybody. About 27 minutes to the top of the hour. Longshore and McKnight, and our man Brian Matthews, AuburnSports.com, hopping on as he does on Tuesdays. Greatly appreciate his time. Brian, how you doing today?
I'm kind of running on fumes, but I'm here and ready to roll.
I bet.
You are singing to the choir, Brian. I promise you that. I'm still in Gainesville after the Trojans win the Gainesville Regional, host a Super Regional next week. I therefore got to see bits and pieces of Auburn's trip through a very eventful regional, coming from the losers bracket in the very first game and winning yesterday. Auburn will host a Super Regional. What was the turning point for Auburn in the entire regional when they dug their heels in and were able to make that run?
Yeah, they had a really disappointing loss to Milwaukee. Milwaukee jumped on them. Did a great job, I think, scouting Auburn and being prepared for that pitching staff. And, after that loss, this company 64 Analytics said that Auburn had a 3.1% chance, or teams that lose that first game have a 3.1% chance to come back and win the regional, at least over the last 10 years. So the odds were really stacked against them, but I just thought they bore down and really swung the bats well. The pitching staff you knew would kind of bounce back, but to me, the biggest turning point was Sunday. They had to play a doubleheader. They had to win both games. And, Alex Petrovic came out, did well as a starter, but then Ryan Hetzer came in, finished that game, and then comes back an hour later and gives Auburn, I think it was 4 innings to start the next game. I've never seen anything like it before. I thought it was just incredible performance by him. He threw 104 pitches over 2 separate games. And Auburn was able to use just 3 pitchers to win 2 games on Sunday. I think that saved the entire bullpen for last night and allowed them to throw their best pitchers out there, and that was really big. Ryan Hetzel, I think, was the hero of that regional for Auburn.
What about looking ahead to Friday? We were talking about who Troy's got coming up. Talk about Auburn's opposition.
Well, Auburn has not played Ole Miss this season, and we don't know if that series will start Friday or Saturday. They're going to announce that, I think, around 11 o'clock today for the entire Super Regionals. I don't know a lot about the Rebels. I know they've got 2 first-round caliber pitchers. One of them's a big old lefty, so that's trouble for Auburn just right there from the get-go. Auburn's had trouble with those big lefties, so that's going to be something they're going to have to overcome. It will be in Auburn. Last year, Auburn welcomed Coastal in, and Coastal beat them, in 2 tight games, and then went on to play for the national championship against LSU, which they lost. So, Ole Miss is a team that has had, some ups and downs. But, I think we saw with the top 2 seeds in the country losing, in their home regionals this past week, that anything can happen. And the key, I think, is just for a team to get hot.
Yeah, I think it's interesting. And, it's just who's left. I get that. I mean, there's not a lot to pick from, so to speak, when you get to this point to a super regional. I think it's interesting, though, that 2 teams in the same conference are going at it. Was it just – I wonder how that happens. Is it just because – of the region they're in, or how do they go about who plays who when it comes to super regional time?
Well, they line everything up beforehand. In fact, the College World Series is lined up right now. You can go see who Auburn would play if they win. And, I can't remember exactly which one. I think Auburn is up against the 5th, 4th, 6th, 4th. Yeah, they're whoever the 5 seed was, that would be their regional. Then they're also in the 1-8 is on that side of the bracket. So UCLA's region was another one that, and of course UCLA's out. So they line everything up. I forget the number of SEC teams in it, but there's no way you can avoid those two teams being in the same super regional if they win. Mm-hmm. There's too many good SEC teams. They're bound to run into each other. I think it is good, though, that this is not a rematch. This is 2 teams that have played each other all season. So I think it'd be good. Of course, Ole Miss went out to Nebraska, I think it was, and won that regional, beating the home national seed there. So I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Auburn set a record with over 8,000 fans last night, and I think they've got a chance to break that again at some point during the super regional.
They set a record in selling hot dogs and beer out there as well. It was unbelievable, with the weather delay and all that. Fans didn't have anything to do. Give me another beer, give me another hot dog.
Yeah.
You mentioned some of the keys to the thing. I was texting with Andy Burcham a little while, going through all of this, and with some of the other Auburn fans out there, and they said that the atmosphere throughout was just dynamic, and maybe was a difference maker as well. Brian, did you feel that?
I definitely felt that. And I really started feeling that Sunday night.
That's what they. Yeah.
You had those 3+ hours of delays, and the price of beer and hot dogs kept going down and down. And I think the fans took advantage of the beer prices. And even as we got to 11, 12, 1 a.m., they were really rowdy. They were really into the game. There's a lot more fans I expected to still be there. And then that definitely rolled over into last night, where the place was packed and everybody was into it. I've been not like very critical, but just a little critical. I think this season about Plaisman Park a little bit. The attendance has been solid, good, but it's not another year of breaking the record. At least I don't think they're going to break the record again this year. Maybe they will with the supers, but I just felt like the crowd at Plains Park has been sort of waiting for something to happen instead of really being proactive and leading this team and helping this team. And that changed, I felt like, on Sunday and continuing to Monday. And I think it's going to continue into this super regional. I thought that was really important. And I think this team really responded to it.
So it sounds like they do not cut off beer sales at the top of the 7th inning like they do in Major League Baseball.
No, they just lower the prices and say drink more. I mean, that's
a pretty good marketing plan there.
Yeah, I like that. Yep, absolutely.
It has
pretty good deal.
It has worked before. Update us on the men's golf team. They had a little bit of a lull, but they're still in prime position, right, out there in the championships.
Yes, they won the stroke play, right, portion of it. So they're going to go into match play as the number 1 seed in that. I think it was the top. I'm not sure exactly. I think it may be the top eight that go to match play, and they play quarterfinals, semis, and finals over the next 2 days. But Auburn came in as the number 1 overall seed nationally. After getting off to kind of a slow start, you felt like maybe this team has finally found it, and they're going to make a real run to the national championship and potentially win the second one in the last 3 years. But anything can happen in match play, so it's going to be a dogfight for sure.
All right.
What about recruiting, Brian? I mean, obviously that's certainly going on. It still amazes me that so many other things are, well, I mean, quite honestly, more important. And I've kind of felt that way forever, actually. But, baseball and, golf and everything else that's being played on the field is taking precedence over, hey, we had a big recruiting haul or a big recruiting weekend. I know it's still out there and people are interested. It just doesn't seem to create the buzz like it used to. But in saying all that, what's the latest and what are the updates?
You can go back 25 years, and recruiting was by far the most important thing that we covered as a website, and that has changed. And I think the transfer portal is probably the main reason that's changed, right? Because fans don't want to invest as much time as they used to in getting to know who these kids are and where they're from, because many of them don't stick around for 3 or 4 years or 5 years like they used to. That's just part of it. I think there's probably more interest in the transfer portal because you're getting kids that usually come in and play right away. But Auburn, I think, had a great weekend. I think it was 14 total official visitors. Alice Golish, I think, tweeted out 7 Eagles. I guess that's his little bat signal, so to speak, of how many commitments they got. It kept going up. I think the last time I saw it was 7, but I've been like spending,
you've been busy,
half days at the park. Getting about 3 hours of sleep. So I may miss something, but they're up to 12 commitments. They got 3, I believe, so far. The big one to me was Kingston Miles, the really big, fast, talented running back from St. Louis, Missouri. This is the second high-profile running back commitment they've gotten. And again, with the offensive line, with the way they put a emphasis on it in the portal, you can just see this coaching staff wants to run the freaking ball, as they kind of say. So I think that's a sort of another sign there. They got a cornerback a couple of days ago, I guess, in Nash Johnson. He's from McEachern. He was, I think he originally committed to Alabama a while ago, decommitted, opened back up his recruitment, and Auburn won that one. And then they also got a kicker, Noah Ash from Point Verde, I think, maybe Florida is how you say it. I'm not sure. Ponte Verde, maybe. But another kid
Ponte Verde, yes.
You would expect to probably redshirt and then be ready to go in another year.
I'm interested in this because you have covered baseball for a long, long time. You're a baseball guy. And I'm trying to read the tea leaves on maybe what all this means. All of the 8 participants in the College World Series in Omaha last year, none of them made it past the regional round. You look this year at some of the teams. Troy is a dark horse, but they're really, really good. They should. But Cal Poly and Little Rock and St. John's are in super regionals. What do you ascribe all that to? I mean, is there parity in college baseball? And if so, I sure wonder how in the world they got there.
Yeah. I think it's like football where the talent is being spread out more just because of the portal.
Yeah.
I think if you go back 6-7 years in baseball, you had this subset of teams who had these advantages, whether it was Hope scholarships or some form of that,
Yep.
whether it was a private school like Vanderbilt who could afford to
Vanderbilt.
give full scholarships to the whole team. And that's completely changed. And now it's kind of all evened out. So you take a program like LSU, which is so good and invests so much money and time and effort into it. If they miss, in a few spots because everybody else has sort of upgraded what they've got, that they fall down and miss the tournament, which is crazy. You expect LSU to be there every year because they've been so great and they're such a great program. So I think that's part of it. And what's kind of surprising though is the teams you mentioned, right? Because in football, it's really favored all the Power Four, high majors a little bit more, spread it out between them, but it hasn't really helped out those group of 6 guys. But I think in baseball, because there's so much movement, you can have a Power Four-ish guy maybe go to a school for whatever reason he doesn't get to play much. There's a better player in front of him. Well, he transfers over to Troy or Jack State or South Alabama and gets a chance to play every day, and suddenly he's exactly that player they thought he was coming out of high school. So I think that's part of it. And I think that's really important for those teams to really pay close attention to those guys when they get in the portal and jump on them and take advantage of it, because it's hard for them to take a high school player at Troy or Jack State or South Alabama and develop him, right, and see him become a great player, and then boom, here comes Tennessee, here comes Auburn, here comes Florida, LSU paying him all this money to leave. So they've got to really find an advantage working backwards the other way, and they have.
That makes a lot of sense to me. But most of the stuff Brian says makes sense to me, except when he agrees with John, which happens way too often.
Yeah.
Get some sleep, Brian, but I know you've got a
kidding.
lot still to do. I'm looking at the website right now, and your guys have been busy covering everything. Recruiting. Caleb Jones has been busy. Of course, JG, big shout out to him. Jeffrey Lee and Cole and all those guys. How do people get involved with all of that stuff? Because there is still a lot going on.
Yeah, and Justin too has been a huge help on baseball, rolling out the coverage in all those areas, and we'll continue to do this as long as Auburn's playing in the regional and golf, and of course recruiting. They'll have another big weekend coming up. All that more at auburnsports.com. You can follow me on Twitter and Twitter/X at BMattAU.
That's simple. It's great information as always. Brian Matthews, auburnsports.com. Follow him. All the latest information of everything going on with Super Regional Baseball heading this way. You need to be on top of it there at auburnsports.com.
Appreciate you, Brian. Thanks very much.
Thank you, buddy. Appreciate that. Always good information and insight from our man, Brian Matthews. So that's interesting. Super Regional. And I get it. I mean, we've seen it in college football. Heck, you've seen it in the NCAA basketball tournament. But Ole Miss and Auburn, and that is interesting, have not faced each other this year.
Yeah, that happens every once in a while. That should be good. It happens in football quite a lot. It happens in baseball. It should be good. Alabama, again, they have got a super regional against St. John's, who went down to Tallahassee, and they ended up winning that. And, of course, Troy against Little Rock. Brian's right. The actual official announcement of the host sites will be made this morning at 11 o'clock. And at that point, tickets for Troy, I know, will be available at troytrojans.com/tickets. And but that'll be official then. It always goes to the higher seed from the regional if there is a difference there. So, yeah, look for that. That's going to be big for the state of Alabama, as John has pointed out. Let's take a break. Coming up in just a little bit, it's Travis Ryer on YouTube. It's Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
Get below employee pricing and save thousands. Enjoy prices even lower than what we pay with Stivers Ford Employee Pricing Plus. Up to 20 grand off F-150s or 10 grand off Mustangs.
Stivers Ford, where price sells Fords.
Get below employee pricing and save thousands. Enjoy prices even lower than what we pay with Stivers Ford Employee Pricing Plus. Up to 11 grand off Broncos and Expeditions or 8 grand off Explorers.
Stivers Ford, where price sells Fords.
All right, man, grab a Budweiser and take a knee. It is the best time of the year. It's baseball season. That means sunshine. It means behind-the-back peanut tosses. And it means sharing some cold, frosty Budweisers with your boys. Because there's nothing more American than watching America's game with America's beer. So let me ask you something. Are you ready to bring your A game? Are you ready to cheer every frozen rope down the line and amazing catch at the warning track? Are you ready for pitchers' duels and slugfests? Tell me, are you ready for the thrill of an incredible walk-off victory? I can't hear you. Are you ready for Budweiser and baseball? Then get on your feet, raise an ice-cold Bud, and let's make this season larger than life. Great times are waiting.
Enjoy responsibly. Budweiser Beer, Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis, Missouri.
The Bush Guide, cold and smooth survival skills. If you encounter one wolf, chances are there's a pack nearby. Fortunately, the same applies to beer. Head for the mountains of Bush. The Bush Guide, cold and smooth survival skills. To avoid going in circles, make note of recognizable landmarks, like that.
What's wrong with going in circles?
Different circles, Ross.
Okay.
Head for the mountains.
All right, welcome back in. About 9 minutes to the top of the hour. Travis Ryer on YouTube, scheduled to join us in hour number 2. Always enjoy our guest here on the program. Hey, don't forget, we might have mentioned it yesterday. Theotis, get ready. The Moneyline Magician will join us tomorrow. Now, you're always excited about Josh Harris. He'll join us right after C.J. Duncan from Yellowhammer News.
He's moving. He's got a baby on the way.
Yeah.
Plainsman Preston has been patient as he can be, but he's had life stuff going on. So, give him a moment or two. John, we are pleased and proud to once again welcome in to the show early again.
Whoa.
Chats from Robbie from Greenville.
Yes, I see that.
Yeah, Robbie back with us. He's up, thoroughly caffeinated. He says, proud of Troy for incredible wins over Florida and Miami, reaching the Super Regionals. I want to see you out there, Robbie. Great effort by everyone, but especially the pitching staff Monday. Yeah, you're right about that. The pitching yesterday, we're trying to work out, okay, who's going to throw, who's going to be, and it was Hayden Smith, and it was an inning of Benjamin Stubbs, and then it was Noah Thigpen at the very end, and he was dynamite. Great weekend for Alabama and Auburn baseball, too. He says, great effort by Alabama softball this season. Proud of the players, but Coach Murphy not going back to Brisky in game 1 when the freshman pitcher was costly. Texas Tech cut back Kennedy's innings for last night. Alabama had a terrible game plan for game 2. They never adjusted the bat speed to Kennedy's changeup. Alabama's offensive improvement this year did not show against Texas Tech. I will tell you that part of that was Kennedy. Nobody's hit her changeup all year. If Alabama failed to change their bat speed for the changeup, you know what the reason why was? Is because she also throws about 72 miles an hour, and you're going to look bad on the fastball if you're sitting there waiting on the changeup, Robbie.
Yeah,
everybody knows
one thing
that.
I did notice, and I've never, faced a softball pitcher in my life, so I can't say that I've got any knowledge.
You
or
have
experience in this.
those days out at Lagoon Park, whenever you're playing in the.
That was slow pitch. We played slow pitch softball.
Yeah, and John had a different mindset in that one.
Instead of that ball coming at you at about knee level, it had that arch to it, and it would just kind of drop. And half the time you're sitting there waiting on it, and you could strike out because the pitch took so long to get there. You're going, let's go. But anyway, they were. I'm not complaining at all. I just thought, wow, what a pitch. She seems to throw a lot of pitches that the catchers haven't, it looked outside. It might cross the plate, but man, where the pitcher's glove was, or the catcher's glove was, where she caught it, I thought, man, these girls can't see this pitch at all because it is got them handcuffed.
Oh.
But it really did look like it was a ball, but either they get called for a strike or they were whiffing at it.
That happened to the Braves a few times in the World Series, as a matter of fact. The only observation I've got, and understand my mindset last night, we are going to the we're going to the Super Regionals. As soon as I got out of the broadcast booth, I had 71 text messages and all these tweets. So I was busy.
Wait a minute. How many of those were from Robbie from Greenville and Dennis Mitchell?
We had a bunch. But we're coming, so I'm busy answering those in the hotel room. We're down there with the guys and all that kind of stuff, celebrating and everything. So I'm watching bits and pieces of that second softball game, Alabama and Texas Tech. And I don't know who she is. I really couldn't tell. The Alabama pitcher at the very end, an African-American, a young black woman, I couldn't tell who she was. And I was wondering about it, because I've not seen her before, because she had her hair in a ponytail behind her. And John, that ponytail reached down to her upper thigh.
Yeah, I did notice.
And I'm thinking, so you couldn't see her number.
Yeah.
You couldn't tell her name. And she's pretty doggone good. All props to her. But I'm thinking, how in the world can you play softball with a ponytail that is 4 feet long trailing behind you?
It would seem like it would be a little disruptive and distracting.
Yeah.
But I wondered that too. But I've noticed that with athletes in other sports.
In football, you got guys like that.
It's got to be, kind of distracting, but maybe people are used to it. I mean, trying to think of who was the quarterback at South Carolina years ago that had long hair?
The late, great Steve Tannehill, who we lost this year. Yes.
Of course. And then, of course, your Jags have a quarterback that's had long hair pretty much throughout his playing career. So,
and I mean, he's got to throw his hair back to get his helmet on. And I don't know. I mean, I just wonder. I'm not saying it's bad, and I like her. She's a very good pitcher. But I'm thinking, that's got to be a distraction. I guess the rule of thumb is if it works for Kelly Leak, for Chico's bail bonds, it would work for anybody.
Some people can. It's kind of like golfers with beards. You never saw that back in the day, and a lot of these golfers now have full beards and whatnot. And you don't really. I guess Tommy Fleetwood's the only golfer with long hair.
You don't see any of those.
It's not incredibly long, but it's longer than most.
Yeah, he does look like the lead singer for, Fleetwood Mac.
Yeah.
Not the lead singer, but the bassist. I just wondered about that. You see, I saw this, and this wasn't just Alabama. It was everybody. We've seen it in women's basketball. We've seen it in softball. And I wonder about this, too. With the fake eyelashes. They got girls out there playing competitive basketball, running up and down the court, perspiring, working hard, blocking out, playing defense, things that John doesn't really know much about, but it's work. And they've got those long eyelashes on. And I'm thinking, are you shooting free throws? If I'm a female basketball player, and I am playing with those long eyelashes. I mean, every time you blink, I would have on each of my eyelashes, right in the middle eyelashes, I would paint a little arrow that points towards the basketball goal to help me aim,
bad.
Not
bad at all.
Aim, especially on
I think that'd be smart. My wife made a comment about that, about the hairstyles, the makeup, the hair bands, the earrings. Just, how long does it take these ladies to get ready to play? Because they get dolled up, the ribbons and bows in their hair, and
there's makeup.
You just can't slap that stuff on. I mean, that takes a little effort. Yeah,
it is distracting, I would think. I don't.
And as soon as I said it yesterday, I believe that I don't think they've put mics in the dugouts because they don't hear the noise like they used to. Boy, last night it was there. Woo.
Oh yeah.
The cheering in the dugout.
Yeah.
It was had to put it on mute. It was driving me crazy. Barry, before we go to top of the hour, welcome in Travis Reier. Can you decipher this for me? I'm not sure what Dennis is asking, but we do want to let him know we are going to respond to his chat.
It's coming. Dennis Mitchell, Lifetime Achievement Award winner. He says that, again, punctuation is optional.
Sure.
Also, John and Barry, what is the latest on future Conference USA and Sultan Belt expansion? What is the skinny on that? And please respond to my comments. Thank you. Have a good day. Dennis Mitchell. We'll take it, although it is one sentence, we'll take it in segments here.
Yeah.
The future Conference USA and Sun Belt expansion, that's going to be trickle down. I do know that Texas State has just left the Sun Belt Conference. They lost in the College Station Regional. So their tenure as a Sun Belt member ended officially as of June 1st. But they have been replaced by Louisiana Tech.
Yeah.
There's no reason to expand now, if you ask me. There's no reason to. Conference USA, two things jump out at me about Conference USA. Number one is who cares?
Wait a minute. Whoa. That's my line. I've been using that forever.
Number two is, you wonder about some of those teams that are making upward transition out of FCS and transitioning up, but there's nobody obvious there for Conference USA. The only group of 5 expansion or movement is going to come for only one reason, and that's a trickle down from the Power 4 conferences.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever they do is going to determine a lot of what happens in lower level, because John has been talking about this. If there is contraction in the Power 4 and everything is on the table once you get to big boy conferences, and what happens with the Pac-12 and what happens, there are going to be some schools that are, in my opinion, going to be relegated, for lack of a better word, to a group of 4 status. I love Wake Forest. It's a wonderful place. I got some great friends there. Northwestern, salt of the earth.
Yeah.
If there is contraction, that's the only thing that will really push any more expansion in some of the group of 5 conferences.
So there you go, Dennis. There's the answer to your question. Hey, as we mentioned, our man Travis Reier on YouTube, talking Tide. I mean, talking Jacksonville Jags, talking R3 driver guy.
Second helping, yes.
Some great golf content we're going to get to a little bit later on from last week that I want Travis to talk a little bit more about. But obviously there's more this other information and topics on hand, and we want to check in with Travis about that. How you doing today, Travis?
I'll tell you what, I couldn't be more impressed that Barry is as lucid as he is after the events of last night in Hogtown. Yep. Wow.
Hogtown, downtown Hogtown. I am still in Gainesville right now, basking.
Yeah.
I got to tell you, your comments last week resonated about the Gainesville Regional in the fact that you called it Rainsville, and a lot of our fans who watch this program, they said, man, Travis Reier was spot on about that, because, man, especially Friday.
Yeah.
And into Friday night, man, it rained and rained and rained some more out there. It was an endurance contest as much as anything else, Travis.
Yeah, I'm actually kind of surprised it was as dry as it was, because it can be really rough this time of year. But it was worth it for the Troy Trojans. Wow.
Yeah. It was great.
The road to Omaha runs through the state of Alabama.
Boy, no kidding.
How about that? Crazy.
It does. Florida gets bounced out. Troy got Miami out of it as well. Those are great programs. They've combined for 5 national championships, and Troy beat them both. Now Troy gets to host against Little Rock. You alluded to this. Alabama is hosting St. John's. Auburn is hosting Ole Miss. Cal Poly is in the Super Regionals. St. John's is in the Super Regionals. None of the teams that played in the College World Series last year even made it out of regional play this year. If you're looking for an example of parity for maybe college football, I think college baseball has arrived at that. I'm not sure how, Travis, but parity in college baseball is something I think college football should aspire to.
Yeah, I don't think there's any doubt about it. It'll be interesting to see the sustainability of even something close to what we've seen this year, but it is a heck of a lot of fun. It's like small market World Series in some ways, like Brewers A's in a World Series, but it's a blast, and you're excited for all these fan bases because even with Alabama, that's been before. It's been a long time. So if the Crimson Tide's able to push past Frank Viola's alma mater,
Nice, St. John's,
and make its way back to Omaha, that'll be a trip I would think a lot of Alabama people will want to make.
I would think so, too. And I mentioned earlier, the Tide does have a little success against St. John's, beating them in basketball, I guess, late last year, early this year. So they got that on them going into this series.
Yeah, I think, and also for the Alabama and Auburn fan bases, if all three make it, Alabama, Auburn, and Troy, I think you've got plenty of Alabama people that are Troy fans also. I think you've got Auburn people that are Troy fans. So, if you're an Alabama and Auburn fan, if Troy makes it, you could really have a couple of teams that you're definitely pulling for, because we kind of know Alabama and Auburn probably won't be pulling for each other.
My guess is no. My guess there is to concur with you on that out there, but it is kind of a blessing for the state of Alabama. There's no doubt about that. I wonder about this. As we talk a little football here, we have heard, from the SEC spring meetings, which to me, Travis, was a big crock of nothing.
Right.
That there were some rumblings that the SEC coaches and the athletics directors were not really happy. They thought that they were misled. They thought that they were sold a bill of goods, because I guess the rumor is that Greg Sankey, the college football playoff people, and Greg Sankey were telling them that, hey, if you sign off on a 9th conference game, then the playoff would expand to 16 teams. And the playoff ended up staying at 12. Is that a big deal to you? And is that a big deal overall? Do you see that?
I can understand that, feeling a little bit hoodwinked.
Nice.
If in fact that is the case. Now, I think what you'll hear from the SEC is, okay, if we're going to stay at 12, our 3 loss teams better be weighted as such. The sort of grading scale, the evaluation scale needs to be relative to 9 conference games instead of 8. That being said, what we're seeing because of 9 conference games also is SEC teams are dropping non-conference opponents. So it's a little bit of, 6 in one hand, a half dozen in the other,
right.
From that perspective. So they're adjusting already to the 9 conference games via the non-conference scheduling that's being adjusted. So, but sure, I could see that being a source of consternation for some of those folks.
One thing that really got me last week is Greg Sankey said something about cupcake week, cupcake games. Doesn't matter when you play them, they're still playing them. I mean, to me, they just kind of rearranged the chairs on the Titanic. I mean, they're still going to play these games. It's just not going to be the week before rivalry week, which, whatever. So I really didn't understand that. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the schedules even for this season, which I know you guys have, that weekend before the final regular season game, that's typically been referred to as Cupcake Weekend. Well, it's gone.
Yeah.
I mean, really from the start of October, end of September through Thanksgiving, it's pedal to the metal with that ninth conference game coming into effect. So it was already taken care of via that change. But maybe it's a little bit of marketing going out that look, that weekend they've taken a pretty big hit late in the season, and that's not going to be the case. But like I said, just looking at the schedules for 2026, it looked like they had already taken care of that.
Mm-hmm.
Travis, I'm interested to know about your take on college football right now. What's on Talking Tide, on Second Helping? We're trying to provide content on our show. We're looking at issues in college football. What are you guys talking about right now? What's important right now in June?
Well, it's tough because there's so much talk about the expansion potentially. I just want football games at this point. And the thing is, I'm not a countdown guy. I'm not, hey, 100 days until kickoff.
Yeah.
I like my off season. But with where we're at, with so much of the narrative off the field, just so consistently day in and day out, I kind of long for the days where, hey, at least it was quiet 30 years ago this time of year for the most part. I know it does help us in ways in which it's the 24-hour, 365 news cycle. But man, it'll wear you down after a while. And as you said earlier, Barry, a lot of it is just nothing. It's just recycled nothing.
Yep.
And again, I don't wish away my off seasons. I love every day.
Yeah, I'm with you, Travis. Particularly,
let's play some games.
Yeah, at our age and our point in our career, I'm ready. I like the off days too. I'm with you. I'm looking forward to football season. I'm with you, but I'm tired of the talk. I've been saying this for a long time, Travis. The spring meetings in Destin last week, just more talk.
Yeah.
I just don't even tell me about it until something gets done. Whether it's they're expanding the playoff, or the Big Ten and the SEC are going to have a scheduling agreement, or all these things they throw out there, but they don't seem to ever materialize. I'm just, there again, talk's cheap. Let me see some action.
Well, there's more content than ever, but we're dumber than ever.
True.
That's the way I look at it.
Let me circle back to last night in Oklahoma City. Is that what we're going to see in other sports? And what I'm getting at here is, both these teams, Alabama and Texas Tech, are really good, but they were built differently. And we see football programs being built in the same way that the Texas Tech softball team was built. Was last night a harbinger of things to come? You better get ready, because the programs with the most money, you're going to have a hard time beating them.
Yeah, I think in it's going to maybe be more sport specific as far as the notable changes in that regard. I think it's kind of always been that way in football, and to a large extent, maybe even basketball, but more so football, especially when we had the previous systems in play for determining a national champion. Really, when we were BCS with two teams, there were like three leagues that you could kind of point to and say the national champion is going to come from one of those three leagues. And within those three leagues, there was like 5 teams maybe within those. So 15 teams maybe that were legit national championship contenders. I think, though, if you're going to have schools making, the kind of commitment to sports like softball, like Texas Tech has, and even like women's golf. Did you see Eastern Michigan in the NCAA championship?
I did not.
Yeah, they took out Blue Blood. I don't know. I think it was like Texas Eastern Michigan took out Texas in match play in women's golf because they had made a 7-figure plus commitment to women's golf. I don't know how or why, but they did it, and it showed up. And so, Texas Tech, if there's 2 players you would go out and try to lure to your program, it would probably be Kennedy and Mia Williams. And they got both of them.
Yeah.
And they were both huge last night, especially Kennedy in the circle. She is so good. And, you know, I give Alabama a lot of credit. All that being said, you know, Alabama lost a 1-run game in game 1 and lost a 2-run game in game 2. So they weren't just steamrolled, but sure, you know, the stars that Texas Tech went out and got with big money.
Big money.
It's return on investment.
Sure. I'm with
there.
you.
Yeah.
And should fans get ready for that return on investment to happen in basketball, football, all these other sports? As far as I know, Travis, I've not heard, but I don't think Alabama has a player or a pitcher making over $1 million.
No, that's my point too, especially about a sport like softball. But, you know, Alabama has a good bit of returning core players that, you know, today Murph is already trying to figure out how he's going to keep them. Because, you know, you've got 2 pitchers in Brisky and Moten coming back that could be ones a lot of places.
Yep.
In college softball. So you got to address that first and foremost. I've said it before, you know, 100 years ago, I played fast pitch softball, and, you know, even on those trips, you know, nothing trips with a bunch of sweaty dudes, we took care of our pitcher. You know, our pitcher didn't pay for gas. Our pitcher didn't pay for a hotel. Our pitcher wasn't 4 guys in one room. He had his own room.
Sure he did.
With a bathtub full of ice cold beer.
Yeah.
And that's what we did. And that's what you got to do in softball. You got to take care of the circle first and foremost.
Man, that guy's got his own room, and I got to share it with these guys? Unbelievable.
Oh, man.
I need to be a pitcher.
All right. Talk to me about the memorial at Jack's course, at Muirfield Village. Is it going to be Scotty Scheffler again?
It might be. I love this week because, you know, even Jack at his advanced age, you can see ways he tries to come up with to just make it hell on the players. You know, the course setup, the rough, stuff like that. He still doesn't like guys coming in there and shooting. They're not going to shoot 18 under at Jack's place. Not if he has anything to do with it. But, yeah, I mean, Scheffler certainly do. I mean, he's been all over it. He's been right there. So this would seem like another spot for him to go ahead and make it 3 straight. But it's a fun run-up coming to Shinnecock. I'm a big course guy, as y'all know, and last October, the wife and I took a trip up to the Hamptons, and it is amazing because you literally can pull right into the drive at Shinnecock. There's no gate. Like you come across, you turn left or right off the expressway there, basically, which is really more of a 2 or 3 lane road, and cross the railroad track, and there's the clubhouse. Pull right in. And so I'm excited about that, but it's a great week for golf. You got the NCAA men's championship out in California. William Jennings of Alabama last night comes up a stroke short.
Oh boy,
of a
tough
playoff
finish
in the men's individual. Played great at 13 under or so. So yeah, it's a really, really fun time of year for golf. You got the women at Liv this week for the Women's U.S. Open. It's a great week.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to Shinnecock as well. And you mentioned Jack's tournament. I had a friend, he and his son went up there a couple of years ago and said it was magnificent watching that tournament in person. I guess I'll stay on golf. Well, let me go to something else before I get back to some other golf that I wanted to ask you about. Looked to be a pretty productive visit weekend in Tuscaloosa for Kalen DeBoer and his staff with a bunch of highly rated recruits on campus.
Yeah, it's that time of year, and I think over the next couple of 3 weekends, they got 20-plus guys. Still kind of weird to get your head around that June is official visit season, but that's where we're at. I think this weekend they got Elijah Haven coming in, the 5-star quarterback commit with some other guys. So it's going to be interesting, too, to just see how big this class really is when it's all said and done because of all the different factors now. in college sports and college football. So it's prime time for that Alabama staff and trying to, finalize some things with this high school class and this sort of grassroots recruiting, I call it now, for 2027.
How big is it that Amari Allen's coming back for Nate Oates' team next year?
It's huge.
Huge.
I mean, for Nate, especially if they're really going to ball on a budget, kind of like they're doing it, they got to take care of their. They got to really take care of their 2 or 3 guys that they have a chance, and so it's an interesting dynamic. I think I heard Thomas Hawk, the outstanding player for Florida, or it was referred to anyway, as I think he's going to get $6 or $7 million to come back to Florida for another year, and he's only going to have to play 30, 35 games. And you think about that versus if you go to the NBA, what's your money going to look like as a first-round pick, and you're going to play 80-plus games.
Yeah.
So it's fascinating to consider. But, no, Allen is huge because his versatility, they're going to have holes in that roster. But he is the kind of guy that can cover for multiple deficiencies that you might have.
So Barry and I have both been to TPC in Ponte Vedra, the famous stadium course. I can't speak for Barry, but I have never had the chicken salad there, Travis, but you seem to enjoy it.
Oh, it was good. Yeah, I was out there last week. Actually, within Sawgrass out there, they have multiple golf courses, and they have one called the Yards. If you're ever in that area and you just want to play like 12 holes, it's a 12-hole golf course. And there's probably 4 or 5 par 3s, but it's an older golf course that was Oak Bridge that they converted to this really fun type of atmosphere and vibe out there. Longshore, I think you'd really enjoy it. It's a solid test. I mean, you got par 4s and par 5s on the 9-hole section of the course, but then the final 3 they call the beer track. And it's just 3 straight par 3s, man. And they have about the best frozen. They have about the best frozen transfusion I've ever had.
Oh, man.
It is.
Oh, sounds fantastic. So anyway, I like it. You play 9 and all the bets are square. And then you have a 3-hole par 3, 1 down automatic.
Emergency. They got some emergency holes. And then you play there, for a very reasonable fee. Play the 12 for like $60 or something. And then you drive over to the stadium club, the clubhouse. You can go there. It's open to the public. You can eat dinner there. You can access everything inside Sawgrass pretty much from a public perspective. So I cruised over there and I had to see about the chicken salad. First of all, it's not on the menu.
Ooh.
I had to ask, and they said, "Oh yeah, we've got chicken salad. It's not on the menu." So I get the chicken salad. It was excellent, man. No almonds, no grapes, no cranberries, no landmines of any kind. Just mayonnaise, chicken, celery, a little bit of onion. I get tomato on mine with a little extra onion. And then they gave it to me on toasted wheat, which I usually don't go that route, but it was It was really good. I mean, it was excellent.
Well, your video of it certainly looked really, really good. And that's interesting about the 12-holer, Travis. I got a really good friend of mine that's been saying for years golf should only be 12 holes.
He's not wrong. He's not wrong. And so, but yeah, the Yards. This isn't a, paid advertisement at all or anything. I'm just telling you in case you're in the area. It's a really fun alternative. It's right there off of A1A.
I remember that.
And then you cruise over to the clubhouse. You go to 19 at the stadium club at TPC Stadium, and a little bar and restaurant in there. And then also right outside the restaurant, from every champion of the players, there's this wall, and they've got a golf club from each of the past champions that tournament. So you can kind of check out some of that stuff, and then you can hit the pro shop for the merch and all that stuff too.
Out of curiosity, what's the green fee at the stadium course these days?
Caddy and everything, you're gonna drop a band. You're going to drop a grand, which is nuts. There's no way I would. What I would suggest is right adjacent to the stadium course is the Peace Dye Valley course. Go play that and it's too much, but you can play it for $250.
Yeah.
And it's in great shape. You have access to the same practice facility. I know it's 17 that everybody's got to play. I'll tell you this. Go up to Myrtle Beach. They have a replica golf course in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, with all the great holes from around the world.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Like St. Andrews, everything.
Why have they not?
Augusta National, they've got a replica of the 17th at this place up in Myrtle Beach. Go up there and spend $100.
Yeah, sure.
And then
it's interesting. I played the stadium and the Valley. It's probably been 30 years ago, but I promise you, Travis, I wasn't dropping a grand to play it.
Well,
I can't imagine.
I can sneak in there for the Players Media Day for free,
There you go.
You go out there and you see all these other guys like you. You're like, they don't cover. What the hell are they doing out here? But then, one of the times I played,
including me,
we have a jackleg. He's got to play from where the players play from. I gotta play. I gotta get an understanding of what these guys. He shot probably 196.
Yeah,
you're gonna be there all.
And lost 2 dozen balls along the way.
Yeah, I basically played through my own group because of that guy. Like, it took him so long. I was already on the next tee when he was hitting, his third or fourth from 167.
That's hilarious.
Yeah,
love it. That's so good. Yeah, that's the kind of content, folks. Ryer on YouTube, and not only is he talking Tide, talking Jags, talking chicken salad, he's got some great golf content as well. It's awesome.
Yeah. Yes. How do people access it, Travis?
It's Ryer on YouTube. That's where we're at. Ryer on YouTube. You can catch me on X also at Travis Ryer, TravisReier.
Appreciate it very much. Thanks a bunch.
Thanks, guys.
You too, buddy. Thank you so much. Great as always, Travis Ryer with a lot of good content today with the Tide. I could tell he liked that chicken salad. When I saw the video of it, I went, "Wow, this really looks good. I'm gonna have to check that out next time that way." But y'all got a buddy.
And
I don't know if it's because we've gotten
landmines.
Yeah, no fruit. I got a good buddy of mine. He's been saying it for years. Golf should be a 12-hole sport. All you need is 12 holes. You don't need 18. Just play 12.
What? Do you agree with that?
As I'm getting older, I'm kind of thinking, 12 wouldn't be all bad, but I'm a traditionalist. I like 18.
Yeah, 2 things. John is also the one pushing for 7-inning baseball games rather than 9.
True.
But, also, guys like this. Guys who are into the challenge of golf.
Mm-hmm.
I want to play, I want to see if I can flop this shot. I'm going to use this club. I want to see if I can, and you're thinking, there's no way in the world you're going to pull that shot off.
Well, what are you
You've never
doing
done
here?
it before in your life. Yeah. I'm going to play from where the tour pros play. And you're like, all right, we're going to be here until midnight that way. And he continues.
Well, you've always got that guy, Barry. Always
your
got that guy that wants to play from the tips, thinks he's, Tiger Woods out there, can play just as well as they can. You're thinking, buddy, look, come on, let's go. You're going to be here all day. You're going to lose a dozen balls. You're going to get frustrated. It is not worth it. So forget it. I will say this, Barry. I also want to see college basketball men's go back to 4 quarters instead of 2 halves.
I do too. Yes. You and I have been in agreement with that since the issue first came up. That needs to happen. To use one of John's favorite analogies, every other basketball game at every other level plays 4 quarters. Why not college basketball? When we come back, Phantom's Daily Dog?
Well, we got to do it. Contracted to do it. I guess we got to see what happened yesterday.
It's Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
Big news for Central Alabama travelers. Getting to Texas just got easier. You can now fly nonstop from Montgomery to Houston with United Airlines. No long drives, no layovers, just smooth direct travel from your hometown airport. Whether it's business or a weekend getaway, Houston is now just 1 flight away. Spend more time there and less time getting there. Fly nonstop to Houston. Fly MGM, where travel feels easy. Book your trip today at flymgm.com.
It doesn't matter if you're running drills at the park, playing pickup on a Saturday, or sinking the final putt. When you compete with your friends with Michelob Ultra on the line, competition isn't that friendly. The trash talk, next level. And the stakes, oh, those are crystal clear. With only 95 calories and superior smooth taste, it's the ultimate trophy. Superior is worth playing for. Michelob Ultra, superior light beer. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2025, Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
The Destin Connection Seafood Market at 3750 Norman Bridge Road in Montgomery has the freshest seafood direct from the Gulf of America. I'm talking red snapper and grouper, all sizes of Gulf shrimp, jumbo lump crab meat and crab claws, Louisiana Bay oysters, and New Bedford scallops. They are a full-service seafood market and kitchen serving po' boys, dinners, and sandwiches. You know, many well-known restaurants in the river region purchase their seafood from the Destin Connection because they know it's the absolute best. Call ahead and your order will be ready for pickup. The Destin Connection Seafood Market, 3750 Norman Bridge Road. Call 288-4272. That's 288-4272. Okay, about, bottom of the hour right here at it on this Tuesday. Great conversation with Travis Ryer and Brian Matthews today. Hope you enjoyed that. If you missed any or all of it, no sweat. You can check it out, watch it anytime on your schedule. Well, let's check that box score. Usually if I start out that means that the box score was not kind to us.
Yeah, well, whenever he starts out the Phantom's Daily Dog segment with, and then you don't even, the suspense is cracked at that point.
This picture, McGreedy, I think. Yeah. Anyway, Texas at St. Louis last night, a little interleague action. I'm a big interleague play. The Rangers jumped out to a 1-0 lead in the top of the fourth, added another run in the top of the fifth to go up by 2 because, the home team didn't cross home plate till the bottom of the sixth. Unfortunately, that's the only time they crossed home plate. And the Rangers went on the road 2-1 last night. So, it's time to move on.
Baseball.
You can't sit there and harp on a pitcher that just, couldn't cash
because
for you.
Because the Phantom knows that he is looking squarely at a summer full of baseball because the NBA Finals are about to begin, and after that, it is according to the Phantom, the long, arid desert of summertime.
Long, dry summer. So here we have it. Tonight in a full slate of Major League games. A couple of them starting at 5:40 today. Tampa is one of those games. Our hometown team, the Rays, going up against Detroit. But that's not the game we're looking at. We're looking at a game at 6:40 tonight.
Right.
And I'm just going to stop saying on Major League MLB TV because that's what they're all on, because I'm being led to believe that attendance is through the roof, but they can't get a major recognizable television network to broadcast these games.
It's all local. It's like
and
the Phantom still sees that billboard up there, passes by it every day on the interstate. It says, "Hey, we'll cut you a deal on Braves Vision now."
Allegedly, Major League Baseball attendance is on the rise. I guess so, because you can't watch it on TV. I mean, if you are a hard-nosed baseball guy, you got to go because TV networks are losing their rear end on it. But enough of that diatribe.
Yeah.
We're going to Minneapolis, the Twin Cities.
Yes.
Of Minneapolis St. Paul.
The Twins and the White Sox.
Yeah. Rod Carew, I believe, played. Didn't he play for the Twins?
He did.
Yeah, I thought so.
I have no idea how he knows that. Name any one person who ever played for the White Sox.
Oh, the Big Hurt.
Oh, nice. I was testing you. I was giving him a little. Yeah, he did.
White Sox.
The Phantom answers the bell. I like that. Good job. Okay.
So tonight the Twins are a home underdog. Believe it or not. Yeah.
Okay.
The Minnesota Twins, a home underdog tonight, which kind of surprises me a little bit, I got to admit.
Right.
But a slight underdog tonight. Just a slight underdog at plus 105, taking on the Chicago White Sox, as you mentioned. Now, what I find interesting about this game, a lot of things I find interesting, but the White Sox and the Twins are right behind each other in the standings. Now, it is true that the White Sox have about a 4.5 game lead on the Twins. And over the last 10 games, the White Sox 6-4, the Twins 4-6. So these teams are relatively close, but I like the fact that the home team is an underdog. So we're going to hence the Phantom's daily dog. So we're going to go with the Minnesota Twins plus 105 hosting a White Sox team that I've already been on a couple of times this year. Caught some people by surprise because the White Sox were terrible the last 2 or 3 seasons, but somehow something's going. They've turned the page there in Chicago, but not tonight. Minnesota plus 105. That is the Phantom's daily dog.
I like it. I like it very much. You don't have to do it. You don't have to keep texting me names of Twins players and names of White Sox players. Although Plainsman Preston says Kent Herbeck played for the
pulled Ronnie Gantt off the bag in the World Series. It was great.
Gave them a real lift.
Yeah.
Really picked them up. I get the reference there, Plainsman Preston. Why in the world they called him out is still beyond.
Great call by the umpire. Speaking of that, I don't know if it was the Troy game. I had so much going on last night. I had the quad box working, so it was hard to figure out what was happening. But these first base umps, the behind the plate ump will look down there and go, was that a swing or not? And I'm thinking, the guy's, 60 feet away? You're right there. I mean, what are you asking him for? And, of course, they replay it, and the guy's well over the plate. And he calls it no swing. I can't remember if it was the Troy game or the Alabama softball game. And I thought, whoa, yes, that bat crossed the plate.
I do wonder that sometimes. They'll appeal to the first base or the third base umpire, depending on whether he's a right-handed or left-handed pitcher. And I'm thinking, how do they know? I mean, they're over there they're saying, hey, what do you got? And the third base umpire is going, flip. No swing. Yeah.
See, that's why I could not be an umpire, because obviously the game is so boring and tedious. I would lose focus, but they're expecting me to watch every swing. If I'm over there on first base, I'm looking at the hottie on the third row. I'm not looking at every swing to think, well, he might ask me, what'd you think? Was that a check swing or not?
But John innately knows the trick. He's over there going, golly, are those real? What? Oh, yeah, swing. Yeah, he swung it. He wouldn't have the slightest evidence. You got to be authoritative.
Sure you do.
Oh, yeah.
It's like being a line judge in a high school volleyball game. You're not paying attention, but when that ref up there in the stand looks at you and goes, in, out, you go, oh, that was out. Way out. You got to sell it. Did that on the road in a match.
What in the world are you talking about? And then obviously, I'm right here. You're up there. Even if you have no clue, it could have been out by 5 feet, and you call it in, and you're saying, I don't care. All of you bozos up there, you're all wrong. I'm right.
I caught a little flack, Barry. I was aligned. In high school volleyball, unless you're in the state tournament or something, they have 3 officials. But when you're playing regular season matchups, they have 1 official. She's up there at the net, and then you got volunteer dads working the lines in the back with the flag indicating in or out. That she looks at you and calls the ruling. Game, set, and match on the road. I'm one of the linesmen standing right next to the home team's bench. their fan base, I should say, not the team, but the fans. Right there, I'm 8 feet away from them.
Right.
Girls throws it up, slaps the serve. I call it in, drop the flag, walk out of the gym. Place is going berserk. Berserk.
Yep.
But hey, I sold it. Game over. The visiting team, my daughters, won the game. Gets a big arch rival. Whew. Called a little flack about it, but never wavered. Never wavered.
That's the key. That's the key.
It might have been a little bit close, but my eagle eye called it as in.
It's that same vibe that I still to this day, and I consume a lot of content, I still to this day think it was never better expressed, that vibe, that approach, that mindset John's talking about I made the call, y'all live with it,
yeah,
I'm gone.
Sure. You don't like it, get somebody else to work the line.
In Fast Times at Ridgemont High, when Damone is giving Ratner a couple of pointers on going out on a date with Jennifer Jason Leigh. He said something about, Led Zeppelin 4. Always have
Side
that
3 of Led Zeppelin 4. Yeah.
He also said, wherever you are is the place to be. Yeah. Isn't this great? That's what you got to do, I mean, wait a minute. You think my call was wrong? No, my call was spot on. Yeah. You guys didn't appreciate that call? Isn't this great? That's the way you got to be. Wherever you are is the place to be. And whatever your call is the right call.
That's it. You got to sell it. Yeah. No doubt about it. Yeah, good stuff there. Preston likes the Fast Times reference. We've done that a time or two.
There's nothing wrong with an extra. No shirt, no shoes,
no
dice.
So we gotta wait. We gotta wait another day for the NBA playoffs. I know a lot of people are excited about that. No, really, they are, because I have seen more talk about it. San Antonio, the home team, tomorrow night, 7:30 on ABC. Maybe you'll hear more about this tomorrow, probably so. But the Spurs laying 4.5, total of 218.5. Knicks, Spurs tomorrow night. A lot of people are on this Knicks team. I've been impressed with them as well.
Yeah, I'm a big fan.
Win in game one, I wouldn't put it past them.
I like him. I like him a lot. I do know that the networks and the NBA are pleading and crossing their fingers that the Knicks go 7 at least and win this thing, be the best thing for the NBA right now.
I would think so.
Let's take a break. When we come back, it's the Gurn Jr. Victoryland 777 topic wheel. We're going to make sure we have plenty of time because, boys, when it gets to be 9 o'clock, I have got to make that bus back from Gainesville. So we got to be on time. It's Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
It's Earring Fest at Marguerite's Exquisite Jewelry, 8163 Vaughan Road in Peppertree, adjacent to Chappie's Deli. All month long, earrings are featured. The display cases are busting with beautiful earrings, like 1-carat diamond studs, just $249. That's right, 1-carat diamond studs for $249. How about this fabulous graduation special? Pearl stud earrings, just $99. That's right, pearl studs, just $99. And of course, May's birthstone is the emerald, cherished for its rich green hue and timeless symbolism of renewal, love, and prosperity, making it a captivating choice for elegant jewelry. So many emeralds to choose from, so many fabulous, beautiful jewelry items to choose from at Marguerite's Exquisite Jewelry. Go by and see them today. Open 7 days a week, 8163 Vaughan Road in Peppertree. Earring Fest all month long at Marguerite's.
Big news for Central Alabama travelers. Getting to Texas just got easier. You can now fly nonstop from Montgomery to Houston with United Airlines. No long drives, no layovers, just smooth direct travel from your hometown airport. Whether it's business or a weekend getaway, Houston is now just one flight away. Spend more time there and less time getting there. Fly nonstop to Houston. Fly MGM, where travel feels easy. Book your trip today at flymgm.com.
It's Earring Fest at Marguerite's.
At Dixie Overhead Door, we specialize in top-quality garage door solutions for homes across Alabama and Georgia. In need of a garage door repair or a brand new garage door installation, our expert team delivers fast, reliable service with local expertise that you can trust, providing customized solutions and exceptional care every step of the way. Visit us today at DixieOverheadDoor.com and experience the Dixie difference.
Marguerite's Exquisite Jewelry is Central Alabama's best-known jewelry store.
Let's get us back. Let's get us back. We've already played the Marguerite's commercial.
And it's
okay. Here we go.
All right, we got about 15 minutes to go until the top of the hour here with Longshore and McKnight. Not sure where the topic wheel is today. We'll get into that a little bit more, but I will say this. Am I the only one that really is? I'm surprised there's no articles about it. Am I the only person that recognizes the uniforms? And to me, last night in game one, Alabama, Texas Tech, that was a different uniform combination. Colors that aren't even primary for Alabama athletics.
Well, when you're the visiting team, you're supposed to wear gray in baseball. That's just like, when you're the home team, you wear white, basketball and baseball and all, that kind of, really everything except football. Some of them are bad. Like, I cannot help but laugh anytime Tennessee is dressed in all orange, and they've done it in baseball, they've done it in softball, they've done it in basketball. It's not so terrible, but man, that's a lot of orange. I like burnt orange. I like Auburn's orange. I like Texas's burnt orange. Okay, the best orange is the Florida orange. The Auburn orange is right there with them. I don't know. Maybe it's just something about that Tennessee orange, John. They look like orange sherbet. They look. I mean, you can't go out there and be and be a bad dude.
Well,
and you're wearing that. You're walking out there and you're expecting to strike fear in the opposition.
Tennessee looks best when they're in all white pants, white jersey, white helmet with the orange trim. When they go all orange, it look like a creamsicle or a dreamsicle or whatever it's called. I'm not a big fan of their smoke jerseys because I think the gray is too light. But I do think that last night, Alabama's shade, and it was a darker gray. It wasn't black. It wasn't light gray. It was kind of a darker gray, and it had kind of the crimson trim. And I mentioned the logo that was popular back in the 70s. As a matter of fact, I think it's on the new car tags as well, the vanity plates. I think that's the logo that's on the Alabama vanity plate these days. And I kind of thought, as I sat there and watched it, I thought, I really like this. I think this looks good. I'm amazed that, some writer out there that's not going, why does Alabama not use, why am I the only voice or questioning the uniforms? It's like, you can't talk about that because they'll revoke your press pass and I won't get a free lunch in the press box at the Alabama East Carolina game, or they won't let me interview the coach or whatever. Get over that. I certainly have.
I don't know that I've ever mentioned anybody that is as closely attuned as you are to uniforms. I mean, John loves him some uniforms.
Yeah.
Hey,
look
at those uniforms. That's the only reason why John would ever watch the WNBA for more than 15 seconds. Oh, look at those uniforms.
Yeah.
What the heck? Oh, what about those? Hey, I noticed this in hockey. That one team, their uniforms, they're pretty cool. Well, what'd you think of the game? Oh, I couldn't care less. But, man, those were great uniforms. You
could probably go even further and say, what cities were those teams from? Oh, I don't know, but the uniforms look good.
There's many times I don't even know what sport it was, but I like the uniforms.
I heard a quote from a owner of a men's clothing store make the quote that a well-dressed man always has the advantage. That might just be a marketing ploy for, trying to sell clothes or something.
If George Wilder said it, then by gosh, it's the truth.
And I think the same thing about sports. I mean, if you walk on the first tee and this guy's, got his coaching shorts on and his shirt tail untucked, you're going, man, who is this guy? Same thing about, you hear coaches and referees tuck your jersey in. Yeah, because it looks neater.
Oh, Kirby's about that. Kirby.
It looks professional. You don't look sloppy. So if there's a rule about, why do you think the NFL is so particular about how these players look? And I'm sure that Major League Baseball and, the NBA's got their rules and regulations about how the uniform has to be worn. I mean, if you play on the PGA Tour, it doesn't matter if it's 100 degrees outside, you're wearing long pants. You're not wearing shorts.
Let's get to the topic.
You don't get on an airplane wearing your pajama bottoms or a tank top. That's called flying Spirit, and they went bankrupt.
Yeah. Let's get started with the Gurn Jr. Victoryland 777 topic wheel, brought to you by Victoryland 777 Casino, exit 22, I-85, Shorter, Alabama, where you can be a winner too.
Yes,
Gurn's
you can.
Been busy on this one. She's back. Oh, not that girl. What about the restraining order? Oh, yeah. Serena Williams.
Oh, yeah.
Returning to tennis. She's 44. She gets an exemption or whatever, a wild card entry into, turn up just a little bit, one more time, back up to the top. What's the tournament? The HSBC Championships in London. She's been retired 4 years. She's been pumping Ozempic. And now she's going to be able to play in a little doubles, a warm-up tournament for. So she's back, but is she going to be? I mean, is she really back?
Yeah, you wonder.
No. She's 44. That ain't going to. She's no Tiffany Thompson. It just ain't going to happen. All right, but that's a nice thing, and they'll sell some tickets and they'll get some TV ratings. But yeah, that's just a gimmick.
Yeah. Let's see what else we got here.
All right. New digs. Why do they call new buildings? Why do they call them digs?
That's a good question. Got to look that up.
Digs. Oh yeah, Russell Wilson. Whenever he lost it, he was a high-profile Super Bowl quarterback and all that kind of stuff. But whenever he lost it, he was gone. He is going to be with CBS with all their pregame show. He's going to replace Matt Ryan, who's now the president of the Atlanta Falcons. And he'll be good. Russell Wilson would be good, but I'm trying to think of another NFL player who lost it as quickly and as totally and is next and was so immediate as
Barry,
Russell
I've
Wilson.
Always said,
because when he got bad bad.
And Colin Cowherd's a huge Russell Wilson fan, so he's had to eat a lot of crow the way he's played lately or the last year or so. But, Barry, I think it goes further back than that.
All right.
If Russell Wilson had not gone to NC State and elected to go to there, Theotis, boom, we're thinking alike, and gone to Auburn instead of NC State.
No, he went to Wisconsin. He was from NC
State, went to Wisconsin.
This
guy could have been the next Tom Brady.
And you know why? We're going to have to hurry. You know why? Because he looked at Auburn's offensive line.
Ooh. Ooh.
And then he looked at Wisconsin's offensive line, and he said, I think I'm going to Madison.
Yeah.
That was what it's all about. Okay.
Yeah. What's next?
Here we go. Next on the Gurn Jr. Victoryland 777.
Russell Wilson in the booth. All right, 4 to go. Let's see what we got. 4 more to go. And lottery. Not here, you're not.
Not in Alabama.
Nope.
All right.
Oh, yeah. Oh, boy.
Oh, yeah, that opened up yesterday.
Phone was blowing up. Now, my daughter, who was the incredible NCAA basketball tournament picker from a year or so ago, she finished 7th out of 25 million. She has been going into the lottery for years, still has not gotten in. Maybe this is her lucky year. A lot of my buddies got in on it yesterday as well.
Rusty got in on the I-Man got in on the lottery one time.
Yes, sir.
Rusty got on the grounds of Augusta National, which is just like dogs and cats living together. Rusty made it. So
that's right.
I don't know. Is it random, John? Do they have some sort of algorithm?
And I really don't know how it works. They say it's random, and they do send you an email if you do not get in. Sorry, you did not get in this year. Please try again next year. And it's very well worded, little, denial letter. But if you get in, good for you. Now, you might be going on a Monday. You might be going on a Tuesday, but I think people know that going in that, I might not get a Friday round, and this is usually practice round, if I'm not mistaken.
The only thing really etched in stone is that if you bring a cell phone in there, you ain't coming back.
You ain't bringing the cell phone in there.
No. Or if you try. Yeah. All right. 3 to go. Here we go.
Yeah. Here we go. What we got? Come on. Spin away. Blue, red, yellow. Ooh. Oh, this is what I like for my broker to tell me.
That's
hey, buy
exactly
this. Huge
right.
returns.
All right. I'm in.
Yeah.
Oh, Ben Askren. He is trying to what is this? Is this pro wrestling? Yeah. Is this like MMA or freestyle wrestling? Freestyle is pro wrestling.
Yeah.
Ben Askren, a double lung transplant.
Oh man,
John. Who's he gonna? He was a great wrestler, but he had pneumonia and he was a double lung transplant. I ain't wrestling no guy with a double lung transplant. I ain't doing
kidding.
that. He's the guy that wrestled that guy with the double lung transplant who had the seizure on the mat.
Yeah.
No. That was like getting when Gordie Howe was playing in the NHL, in the whatever it was, the WHA, and he was 55 years old, and somebody said, I can't fight Gordie Howe. Number one, I'd look like an idiot for fighting a 55-year-old guy. And number two, I'd look like an even bigger idiot if a 55-year-old guy beat me up on the hockey ring.
Sure.
And that's a no-win situation.
Yep.
Wrestling a double lung transplant recipient.
That's not
you don't
fair.
Do that.
Come on.
Let's do it.
All right, Barry's got to go, so we got to be quick
moving.
here. We got 2 to go. I think we can get them
quick.
in. No, what? Definitely can get these in.
Yeah, get on the party bus back from Gainesville.
Going home. Wow.
That's where I'm headed. Going home with a regional championship. Yeah, Odell Beckham signs with the Giants. I think they also got Juju Smith-Schuster. It's old home week.
Yeah. Now, Barry, I don't want to maybe jump the gun on what could be the next topic, but what about the LA Rams? That trade yesterday?
The Rams are going for it, John. The Rams are going. They got Stafford. I forget who else they got. They've got Myles Garrett.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if you remember, Barry, but in my predictions from about a week or so ago, I had the Rams in the Super Bowl. Just saying.
This is the final topic. Yeah, that was the final topic on the topic wheel. Yep. They're going for it. The Rams are pushing all their chips to the middle of the table because Matthew Stafford ain't getting any younger.
Nope.
They get the reigning NFL Defensive Player of the Year and the all-time single-season sack leader for Myles Garrett. I'm telling you, if you're looking at anybody in the NFL other than the Rams as a favorite to win the Super Bowl, you are messing up because they are loaded.
Yeah. You heard that about 10 days ago, folks.
Well,
about those Rams. And the Super Bowl is in LA this year at SoFi. Just saying.
And John had talked before, maybe the Chargers get into. How about an all Los Angeles Super Bowl in Los Angeles?
Show your lightning bolt.
For Gurn Jr., riding on the fly here with the Gurn Jr. Victoryland 777 topic.
So, are there any lunch plans on the way home? You all stopping at Buc-ee's or anything on the way back, or is it nonstop?
We're stopping somewhere. At least I hope so, because I'll be starving. There's from Gainesville, you go to up 75 to I-10, I-10 to Tallahassee. We'll probably stop in Tallahassee and get something to drink.
Rub it in. Let those Florida State people know what it's like to host a Super Regional.
Looking forward to it. Many thanks to Brian Matthews, auburnsports.com, for checking in with us. As always, great content from Travis Ryer on YouTube, for being with us as well. Yes, Preston, tomorrow is the day you've been waiting for.
Just for you, Theotis. The Moneyline Magician is back, 8 o'clock tomorrow, hour number 2.
Yes. Plus, of course, CJ Duncan, maybe?
Yep, at the bottom of hour 1.
Always like him as well. Many thanks to our producer, Gurn Jr. For John Longshore, I'm Barry McKnight. Our program is available all the time. Check us out, Longshore and McKnight, in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.